Hey guys, it's Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. I wanted to give you a quick update on what's going on with our timber. Basically, I'm going to take the drone over, I'm going to talk you through what we're doing with our timber, where we're cutting, what we're taking back to fields, and we'll take you over, show you some of the machinery working, and we'll also show you the big old chipper if it's running right now. We're going to go over on this side of the farm, which is basically our house faces this way, so the left side of the house. This is north, so our front yard, we've cleared out 3 or 4, maybe 5 acres right here, and this will be our front yard and our front field, front pasture. We've also cleared some land back here. I'll take you over all this stuff, and we're clearing an entire hillside, which is probably in the neighborhood of 700 yards, all the way from the top of the mountain to the bottom of the mountain down to the creek. Of course, leaving a stream barrier, but we'll get into that in some other vlog. I'll tell you all about the requirements for stream barriers or stream buffers. Okay, so anyhow, we're going to take the drone, fly it over, and I'll talk you through some of the stuff that's going on here on the farm. Check it out. Woo! Stoney Ridge Farm, Stoney Ridge. Woo! Alright. So for those of you guys that are new to the vlog, I'm sitting on the front porch right now. I have a DGI Mavic Pro. It's a small drone. I'll fly it up in the air and give you a little line of sight on it so you can see what it looks like. It's probably this big, folded up, and basically it just unfolds and flies. It takes great video shots. There's no audio on it, so I'll be talking you through what's going on. This is the program right here. This is basically where I'm launching it from. It's so simple. All I have to do is touch the little launch button and slide, whoop, and it just takes off. It's awesome. So it's flying right now. Those beeps that you heard were the DGI Mavic letting me know that it's somewhere within a line of sight to some danger. So let's get out here. I'll point the camera at it so you can see what the Mavic is all about, okay? I'm going to turn the camera around. So I've pressed record. This is the DGI Mavic Pro. This is what you got here, okay? It's warning me right now, saying too close, blah, blah, blah. That's it. That's what the DGI Mavic Pro is. It's really very easy to use. This is just a little playing with it. And we're going to put her in sport mode. We're going to fly over and get some footage. So here goes. Alright guys, so as we fly over here, this is out the front door. This is going to be our front pasture, and we're flying out. This is a little power line cutaway that we have that goes in between my house and my neighbor's house, and basically it terminates at my neighbor's and goes back behind the camera here to my yard. And this is an area of field that we're clearing out right here. I'm going to say it's approximately, I'm going to say maybe 9 to 10, maybe 12 acres right here. I haven't really measured it with my online measuring tool, but every tree you see that's left in place is left in place on purpose. Basically left trees for shade, for cattle, and for wildlife. Those are hickories and maples and white oak trees and some red oak trees. And this machine is called a skidder. Basically we'll fly up above the skidder here. The skidder is what drags the logs. Basically there are several cutting machines that are working out here, and they cut the trees and lay them down for the skidder, and the skidder drags the logs back over to the lumber processing area. Right here we're looking at property line. To the left is my property line, and directly behind us is the upper barrier of my property line. And this is the field that we're clearing off. And this used to be field and used to have tobacco on it years ago, and you could still see where the plow marks were before we cut it.
Basically, they just overgrew. That's another view right there of how pretty this place is going to be. We'll cruise over to the right hand side here and show you where the lumber processing area is, and we'll take a quick look at the chipper machine. So let's get over here to the right. Basically, my house is at about 3 o'clock right here, and we may end up building our home on the top of this ridge so that we can have a pretty awesome view. What you can't see is the really cool view from right there. And we'll take you through on the vlog and show you building the house. We're going to build several cabins here on the property for folks to come and stay. I think that'd be really awesome for folks to have a farm stay area they could come and stay. Right here's the wood chipper. This machine, it can take logs up to, I think, 14 inches, something to that nature, and it will just chip right through them. This machine with the arm picks up the trees and places them on a chain drive system, and it pulls them through the chipper. And the chipper right here, it just chews right through the old brush. And doing this, it helps to clean up the land because nothing really goes to waste, and I'm really a big fan of that. Here on the Stoney Ridge farm, we don't want things to go to waste, so this is an awesome thing to have. This chipper chips the wood. It goes into this trailer and is hauled up to a place in Southern Virginia that is a biofuel energy plant. So all this wood chip debris goes right into biofuel. So it's really awesome that it doesn't go to waste. Check out these big logs here that are going through. The reason these logs are going into the chipper is because they just don't cut the mustard to be used as pulpwood or as logs for milling. They're just not big enough, they're not straight enough, they're pretty rough. So look at the chips blowing out of that thing. It's just super duper awesome to watch. And that thing just chews through the trees. So getting a low battery warning on my DGI Mavic drone, so we're going to cruise on back. The goats stay in this area right here, and just to the right, that's where we started cutting, and all that will be expanded into field and connected. And to the left down here, this little ridge line, that will also be taken back to field. And we'll leave this cluster of trees. This cluster of trees is behind the house. And we're flying over. My house is directly to the right, and this will be the pasture that we'll start clearing. We'll get an excavator in here and we'll start clearing that pasture, which will be pretty awesome. And the pond, you see the pond right there. And just over the right to that row of trees is a little area that we'll replant in loblolly pine trees. Either that or we'll replant in oak trees. You can see the pasture land that will be behind the house. We'll bring the DGI Mavic in for a landing. This thing will advise me that I have a low battery, and I'll get back in and land this thing. And I hope you guys enjoyed the little tour here. So we'll talk a little bit about the DGI Mavic Pro, and hopefully you know a little bit more about the farm now. Cool. Thanks, guys.
So here's the drone, okay? The little camera's right here, and the propellers are all right here. They fold up, which is pretty neat. Battery comes off right here. Boom. And I'll just take that and charge it. Basically, this drone folds up. If you guys are considering a drone for your farm, so you can check on your livestock, this thing's awesome. Awesome stuff. I can watch it in real time and check out everything that's going on the farm in 15 seconds without spending any fuel, any time going over across the farm. If I've got a cow and I wonder if it had a calf and it's a half a mile over here on the other side of the farm, I just pop the drone up in the air and this is it. This is how big it is. I mean, I've got a pretty big hand, but it's not very big. It's very durable. This camera's shaking. It's I think a 5-axis gimbal, which means it can really make a smooth shot. And I get full HD on my tablet, my Samsung tablet. And there'll be a video coming out soon on how to use your Samsung tablet, because this thing is pretty much designed for Apple products. So that's a lot of what I wanted to show you today, guys. It's 94 degrees. It is super duper hot out here. So I'm going to sit on the porch and fly my drone and check everything out, see where the timber guys are, see what's going on the farm. I wanted to show you the fields that we're taking back, and I also want to talk to you about why we're doing this. We're cutting timber because we have a multitude of trees that are like this big. Managing your forest means cutting some trees. You can't just leave your farm and your forest alone. You're just not doing your forest any favor. Any of you guys that don't want any trees cut whatsoever, you need to do your research before you start throwing stones at me, okay? Trees need to be thinned, trees need to be managed, trees need to be cut. Now, the forest will naturally manage these things over hundreds and hundreds of years, or you can naturally manage them over decades, okay? So over the next decades, the hardwood trees that we're leaving, we're going to leave those and let them grow. We've got some oak trees in here, you know, this big around, and they'll be huge. We'll go in and we'll thin, and we want a tree about every 30 feet. That's the thought here, okay? So we're taking a forest with trees that are twisted and cut all over each other and falling like dominoes, and we're clearing that out, and we're going to replant, and we're going to take back fields, and we're going to manage this farm and have a beautiful place, a beautiful homestead to live. So guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to click that like button. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about cutting trees. Gonna have a lot of cleared land here. So basically we had 15 acres of cleared land on a 60-acre tract, and now we're probably going to go to more like 45 acres of cleared land on the 60-acre tract, which is super duper awesome. Now we've got another 90 acres over here, and we're probably going to cut about 50 of that 90 and take that back to field. I have my work cut out for me, believe me. We've really considered buying a Caterpillar loader and a excavator. In order to do all these projects, we've got to pull the stumps out, we've got to flatten the land out, we've got to disc it down with a huge disc harrow that cuts the soil up and breaks up all the clots, and then we've got to put grass seed down, and we've got to say prayers for rain. So guys, lots and lots of work coming here on the farm. Stick around on the vlog, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and click that thumbs up button. Alright, I appreciate you. Come on back and see me here on the Stoney Ridge Farm. Woo!